try, forget it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome into Pregaming here on Sports Money, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m., and it is Friday, TGIFF. We made it. Excited to get into this weekend's card. UFC stream's going to be popping off tomorrow. We're going to be after it with the fellas, terrorizing the bookies with every UFC fight bet that we make. Plus, we have a huge college football card ahead of us. We've got an NHL card out there. We've got Major League Baseball, all kinds of things popping off. It's going to be a fun weekend here, but we got to get through Friday first. We made it this far. Let's go out there and finish this week strong. Can we get 5 consecutive winning days in a row? Whew, I'll tell you, I'm excited that we have sports back. It was a grind where we only had baseball. Then we only had a couple of baseball games and some 2 and 3 game cards. Makes it hard to find them winners. But now that we've got ample sports, plenty of opportunity for us to really hone in and just get those best bets, the ones that all the boxes get checked off for. And that's what we're doing. That's what we've been doing. Hockey's back. Now, hockey was not good last night. Hockey was not good to me last night. Maybe some of you guys better so than myself. And I had a play out there. I told you, I thought Boston was going to work that Montreal team. I didn't expect it to be a 6-4 final, but I expected them to cover that puck line, and they never gave it out. Shame on me. The Devils got busted up. Florida got busted up. Detroit got busted up. But Dallas did get the win for us. And that was an important win out there. We did catch wins with this Yankees game. Never in doubt. First 5 under 4.5. Full game under 8. No sweat with Western Kentucky. First half -10. Ice sweat and a loss. Middle Tennessee is that bad. Some numbers tricked me, I guess. They were tricky numbers. But look at, how about this Lynx comeback last night? Lynx +6. They were dead to rights in that first quarter. They were done. 15-point comeback, largest comeback in a WNBA Finals history. And a big 4-pointer at the end for the Lynx to win that game. Now, expected defense to travel, but there was no defense in that game. So we snuck out with the +6 win. Well, actually, they won outright, so I don't know about sneaking, but sneaking is as sneaking does here. Mason and the San Francisco touchdown prop does not get there. Mason gets hurt in the first half. Then he comes out for one play in the second half, and he's out. But San Francisco first half was never in doubt. That thing was locked and loaded. And how about the big bang heard around the community here? The Kittle and Lockett touchdown parlay at +800. What a fun way to end that live stream last night. I know a bunch of guys were cheering for those unders. I know some of you guys got cooked on it, but not me. We teased it, gave you guys on the live stream, gave you the teaser with San Fran and the over. But this was the one that we finished off the show with. There was the Kittle and Lockett touchdown. And that now makes three primetime games. Thursday, we hit the 2-legger parlay touchdown prop. Monday, we hit the 2-legger parlay touchdown prop. And then Thursday, we hit the 2-legger parlay touchdown prop. All of a sudden, that's called a winning streak. Who knew? Who knew you could go out there and get after it? Speaking of getting after it, you guys, hit that thumbs up button and we will get after it here. It's about time that we get started with the business of getting started here. We've got NHL in play. We've got college football in play. We've got Major League Baseball in play. I know there's Canadian football. I don't really have a look in that game. I I didn't even look at that game is probably the better way that I should say it based on what I was looking in the research that was being done here for not just today, but college football, the NFL this weekend. We want to get those plays out to you guys as well. So we dialed it in to Tampa and Carolina in the NHL, the Chicago Blackhawks. I see I have a typo. And the Winnipeg Jets. We've got St. Louis and the Vegas Golden Knights. Will be a 3-pack in the NHL. And if you guys are so inclined, I will share a 2-leg goal scoring prop that I put out there. You just got to let me know. Northwestern and Maryland is going to kick off our college football coverage. Nice little break there. They don't start till 8 o'clock. Then we've got UNLV and Utah State. We've got Utah and Arizona for the late night special. And bet your ass, we're getting after that Padres Dodgers closeout game, number 5 in the series. Should be fun. Should be a ton of fun to talk about this card tonight. I realize I left something off the table here. Let me fix that. All right. Let's get to work, you guys. Thumbs up button, please. Need your guys' support. Need to let them know that we are out there doing this thing on the regular. And YouTube likes it a whole lot when they see videos get thumbs up buttons. So take a second. Now's as good a time as any. We'll take a break in the action to gently remind everybody to smash that thumbs up button. You know the deal. Grab your pens and paper. It's time to hear what the best in the business have to do. And that is our chat. They assemble here. They share their best bets, their favorite looks. They've been sitting and grinding on the card all day, trying to figure out how to get us all paid. And they share them here. So you're going to want to write them down. The trends, the angles, all of the analysis and information, some great takeaways on every show that are out there. By that sharpest chat in the business, of course. If you're in the chat, share your best bets out there. We want to recognize them. We want to talk about what you guys are on. Certainly like to see what's going on around the team here. And shout out to the team and Team Steam with Ramon Scott this morning. I know they rocket and grinding every single day. 9 a.m. You'll be able to find our guy Ramon Scott back here tomorrow. 9 a.m. because he does it 7 days a week. 9 a.m. tomorrow. Ramon Scott will give you guys probably, I bet you goes 2.5 hours tomorrow. He'll have something to say on probably every college football game and every game along the slate. So you're not going to want to miss out on joining my guy Ramon Scott tomorrow morning. But here we are tonight, and we've got the number one commenter, first commenter in the chat. Got himself a 99.4% first comment ratio out there. Yeah, Joe, you went down 3 spots there the other day. That hurts the average. But he's here. He's rocking with us, and he's giving you guys the Blackhawks and Jets first period over 1.5. Now, take note. It says there's more plays on the community tab. And his MLB best bet is over there also. Joe T went 4-0 yesterday. A little 4-0 spot for our guy Joe T yesterday. That community tab is available for one and all. Now, we are listener supported. If you guys could take the time, cough up $5, become a member, we would appreciate that. We are listener supported, and every single dollar that comes in helps us continue to keep the plane in the air. But the community tab is 100% free. Now, we will post for members from time to time. Try to give you guys some exclusive looks that maybe we don't have a show going on and still going to share some best bets. But migrate on over to that YouTube page. Hit that community tab. And you'll see all kinds of things that are going out there. We've got polls. We've got plays of the day. We've got some written plays of the day. Joe T puts his plays of the day out there. All kinds of stuff to just try to help create a hub for sharing our favorite action. Shout out to Justin McCalvey, says sports money is money. There's my dude, Keith. Last night was a lot of fun, Keith. It was fun hanging out. Enjoy spending my time with my guy, Keith, every stride. We're having fun last night. New platform, new process that we tried out there. But look, we won. And we won fucking huge. So in all fairness, it don't matter what the platform looks like. It's about the plays. Ain't that right? Let's go. Gerald Jones says, what's up, Pip and crew? his best bet, UNLV first half minus 10.5. Nicholas Handy's in the house. None yet. Brandon Whedon. Good to see Brandon Whedon back in the house. Let's go, you guys. Nunya got a little Escatit. Escatit. I don't know. Start putting those vowels. Every other word's a vowel. You know I struggle, Nunya. Shout out to Vitalis says dogs rule Friday. It's funny. I do have a comment on that for college football. What he be talking about is the Friday dogs are 15-4. 15-4. 2 of those L's came last Friday. I know. We were on them. There's my guy Dancing Nancy's is back in the house. Let's go. Get a little Dancing Nancy's. Now we need to get the friends out there. A little Trippin' Billies and maybe a little Gray Street. Let's go. Shout out to Dancing Nancy's. Skunt Blasters in the house. He's giving you guys the Skunt Bag play of the day is Arizona State money line. Look at that number. Plus 185. You know you can follow our guy Skunt Blaster over on X. Johnny C's in the house. Kelly McInnes. Let's go. Winner's Circle. Says, hey, yo. It's got a little tiara. Sabatini and Gooden. Winner's Circle. I like that middle spot. You got me perplexed with that one. That main event. I'm looking forward to that main event. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait to talk about it. I want to get distracted there, but thank you for sharing Winner's Circle. Look at again the UFC action out there. The crew's gonna get ready tonight. We're gonna assemble and talk about some best bets and breakdowns for those fights so that we come in ready to give you guys solid action tomorrow. Let's go, Joe T. Got a little Tatis over 1.5 total bases. Joseph Alvarado says, that's when you know you're a grinded out type of capper. The dog days of summer. They were dog days, man. Look, a lot of people said, just wait. Don't build a channel in the summertime. No one's going to come. Hell no. We got that thing rocking off the ground. You guys have been great. It's been fun, but now we're here, man. We spent the time grinding. We're going to still grind. It's just a different grind with plenty of action to work through. Hugh Janus in the house says, Pep, I hope you're on the Dodgers money line. Let's go. Dancing Nancy's. One of the biggest MLB games in a long time. Historic matchup. The Dodgers ride into the moonlight with a victory. Well said. I saw a post today that said, they're not paying Shohei Ohtani $1 billion to lose this game. Is this the game he pitches? I don't know. If that guy goes out there and pitches at one point in this postseason, I will absolutely be fucking blown away. Shout out to M. Says, man, LOL, I was going to sweep everything, and Liberty blew that. LOL. Presidential-minded Kings. Giving me, there, he's got a CFL look. There we go. We'll check the CFL box here. We'll lean on presidential-minded Kings. He's a sharp-minded fella. CFL under 49.5 for presidential-minded Kings. Thank you for sharing that with us. Jay Main's ready to roll. Hugh Janus says, easy pick. You already have up. Chicago, Winnipeg. Not sure what that means. Did I already show it? I'll show it. I'm not afraid. I'm going to give it to you guys. We're going to go for the gold tonight. Let's go. Appreciate Kelly McInnes says the line has been smashed. Dana Delp says, sup, Mikey? Had a Clemson moment last night with the under. Kept hammering it. LOL. The Clemson moment was terrible. Dana Delp. Dana Delp's a real one, man. He's throwing it out there. And, Clemson playoffs. Back when we first got into this thing, this channel wasn't even a thought process. I just kept live betting Clemson and took a big, fat L. Big L. It was a big one. But just a week later, Jacksonville Jaguars in the playoffs. Kept live betting them every time they threw an interception. Bet it again. That was easily the most money I've ever. Well, the Clemson one was close to the most money I've ever. Not the most money I've ever lost, but it was close. And then that following week, Jacksonville was the most money I'd ever made. It's crazy. Shout out to you, David Delp, for taking me down memory lane. I know a couple of you guys had reached out. They're like, you were cheering and I was bitching. And I said, yeah, I know. It was the touchdown, man. It was Lockett. I knew I said too, a lot of you guys are on the under and I get it. And the live bet with the under, I got all of that. But man, I needed that Lockett touchdown. Let's go. Dancing Nancy says, I highly recommend also the morning steam on Sports Money. I peeped it yesterday and today driving to work. Cheers. Go Dodgers to paint the town blue. Shout out to you, Dancing Nancy's. Nasty Nate's in the house. He said Boston was going to smash last night. Boston did smash. And Jerry Davis says, I don't know if it means much, but it caught my eye. Yamamoto at 1.5 ERA line and Darvish at 2.5 ERA line. Seems the books favor the Dodgers. Well, the Dodgers are the favorite. That does make sense. Jay Main, giving a shout out to the morning steam as well. I really look forward to it every morning. I respect the grind, chat, people, and all. Going to be more stuff coming. You know there's going to be more stuff coming. I know Ramon wants to get involved in some things. I'm excited. There's a lot of things on the horizon that you got to take some time to really chart it all down and figure out the game plan for execution out there because we got some new faces that want to get involved. We got some new shows that want to get put out there. We just started. Let's go. Joe Dub in the house, man. My guy with the $4.99 super sticker. It's great to see you. Thank you for the donation, my friend. Always great to see you in here on the regular and helping grow the business here. We're building, and it's those things that mean the world to us. Not just you coming here hanging out, but coming off of some of them ducats and helping support the cause, support the team, building the team. Fuck, at this point, we're building the team. And it's guys like you, Joe, that make it all go round, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll cheers this. And, shortly I'll be cheersing the good stuff. Thank you. Jay Main says, I said I wasn't betting on Friday, but I like money. Jerry Davis on that Arizona State dog tonight. DJ Hardy says, what time are you going live tomorrow? I believe it's 3:45. Usually we go live about half an hour before the first fight. And they always change it, right? Depending. I know there's another fight that was canceled. So this fight card was supposed to start at 4:15. It might get backed up because that, who was it? Freem that missed weight today. And I believe they canceled the fight. So stay tuned. I'll make sure to release something out there on X and we'll get to it. So let's go. Jay Main says Canucks not minus 200 versus us. Ain't no way. I love when you're talking us and it's a Philly team. That gets me excited and fired up. Shout out to Old E. David Wallace is here. Old E says still on the generator. Power company says maybe by Monday, but we still cash it. Let's go. I saw Elon Musk giving you guys a little Starlink down there if you don't have the internet. So I'm sure it's for first responders, but it's very important to be responsive to the sports books. Let's go. Jay Main says Flyers Lightning Moneyline Special. Wasn't it just last year the Flyers went out to Vancouver and won that first game of the season? I'm pretty sure that's the case. AOD in the house. My guy says, I was drunk last night. I was definitely drunk last night myself. He says Sports Money Network forever. And the member club. Let's go, man. Let's get after it. All right, Nunya's got the Nunya business. Same game parlay of the day, like Maryland. First half full game money lines. Hemby, Felton, and was that Lausch? Anytime touchdowns. 14-1. There we go. There's a little action for the player prop crew out there. Nunya business play of the day. Jerry Davis says, I threw 10 units at Alabama against Auburn when they had the miraculous win. Talk about that was crazy. That was crazy. I saw some dude cash out big right before that final drive, and he got almost the full cash out. And then everybody else took the L. Shout out to Fletcher Berry's in the house. Says, all right, Mikey. Chit chat, 20 minutes deep. Let's get some plays on here. Look, man, it takes us 20 minutes to get everybody in here. I'm recognizing what these guys are on, dude. We need to see what these plays are. And TransCanada says he's laying here with EKD. You better stay away from my girl. TransCanada put you on fucking timeout. Stay away from my girl. Let's go. Let's get to work. Let's talk about these games now. We'll keep a brisk pace. We'll keep it moving fast. It's Friday. Got a lot of things to do for this weekend. Lots of stuff to break down and get into it. But we're going to get into this Carolina Tampa Bay Lightning game out there. Hockey was very difficult today, mostly because they're dragging their ass on confirming goaltenders. Let's see what we have here. Okay. This is going to be Andrei Vasilevsky, for Tampa Bay. It is going to be Frederik Andersen for Carolina Hurricanes. Big thing for, this Hurricanes team. Andersen was the guy they brought in to be the plug. He was supposed to be the solution. He was the guy behind the net, or in front of the net, rather, keeping the pucks from going behind him. Then he got hurt. Well, he didn't get hurt. He had a medical condition, right? Didn't he have, I don't remember what it was now. Wasn't it blood clots? Wasn't it blood clots? I thought it was blood clotting or something like that. Anyways, he was fucked up. He couldn't play. But then he came in at the end of the season and he was trying to kind of get his legs back out there, and they thought he might be the 1-2 solution to figure it out. On the other side of things, Andrei Vasilevsky, not a young man anymore. He's been aged between the pipes. He's been the staple, the guy that stands there and locks it down for Tampa Bay for a number of years. Now, a number of Stanley Cups out there as well. And this should be an absolute battle between these two teams. We see these two teams play, and just to kind of dust it off the playbook from last year, the big thing I saw was Carolina was a hell of an under team. They were one heck of a team that just couldn't find a way to get that number over the mark. Tight. But I think in this case here, we have a similar situation. Surprisingly, though, a pretty big road dog now in this Tampa Bay Lightning team. They've gone from plus 110 to plus 130. I told you guys before, I don't care much about the line movement when it comes to the NHL. I'm sorry, I don't care much about the splits, but I do care about the line movement and what that's telling us here. It's making these guys a big dog. When it's a coin flip where it was plus 110 or minus 135, I was going to just go after this under. I thought these two teams, we got a 6.5 out there. It's sitting at minus 120. And I thought, well, if it's coin flippy, plus 110, minus 135, I'll just take the under and we'll hope for what we always see, a tightly contested game, probably 2-2, and these guys end up going to overtime. Then the line started moving. Excuse me. To a plus 130 now. And I still got to dig into the fact that Tampa Bay owns that place. They lock him down. Good old Lenovo Center is Tampa Bay country. The Hurricanes are just 2-7 straight up. They're 1-8 on the puck line as a home favorite when they're hosting Tampa Bay. I mean, it's not the biggest sample in the world, but we almost got 10 games. What? All of a sudden shit's going to change? I don't know. I don't know about that, but I did see here the sixes are widely available. I went to the 6 and not the 6.5 because I don't want to fuck around with that 20 cents juice on top of it here. You can get the under 6 at DraftKings for plus 102 on this game. And again, between these two stud goaltenders, I do expect this to be a knockdown, drag out type of, tight, difficult spot out there. They had to reschedule this game. So the scheduling factor, sometimes that takes guys off of their game as well. But I know Kucherov, certainly a guy that can produce, right? Kuchi's going to go out there and do what Kuchi does, and that is fucking score. 144 points on this guy. That's ridiculous last year. They get Gunsel. Tampa, unbelievable defense out there, though. They've got that McDonough's return. Carolina moves some key players out of this game as well. And I mentioned Andersen with that situation coming back. He was a 1.84 goals against average last year. It's good enough for me. I love this under, but I'm getting involved in this. In fact, like I said, this is plus 102 over on DraftKings. It's even money over on BetMGM. There are 6.5s out there. I don't think you're going to need it. The worst case scenario is both these spots. It goes over and Carolina wins. But the way I envision this one is, again, 2-2 goes into overtime. And I'm not going to give out a draw. I think you're a dick if you give out a draw this early in the season. Fucking nothing to go on to be talking about draws. It's not even draw season. But Tampa Bay, for me, I'm going to take this shot with the fact that they own this Carolina team. It is that season opener. It was rescheduled. But a lot of people just automatically looking at Carolina because they are in that home role. And we talked about game one home favorites and the significance that they've performed with out there. But not me, not today. I'm taking Tampa Bay Lightning. And look, maybe they're playing for all those that have been impacted by these hurricanes. And I don't mean the Carolina Hurricanes. I think they got enough to go for out there. Subhuman likes the Gunsel over 2.5 shots on goal. Teravainen over 0.5 point. And the Jets money line for our guy out there. He also likes the 0.5 point for Gunsel. I'd get down with that. I like a Gunsel goal. I told you guys I'll give you this 2-goal parlay prop for you. What the fuck? Why not? We're amongst friends here. I played it earlier today. I'll give it to you right now. Braden Point, Seth Jarvis, both anytime goal scorers. That's 1 on each side. And that is plus 525. Braden Point, Seth Jarvis, both to score a goal is plus 525. Put that in the chat for you guys. Point, Jarvis. Now, be smart about it. There are some same game parlay boost out there for 30% plus. I didn't count the 30% into this thing. This is just what the straight number was at plus 525. And I was inspired by our action yesterday in the NFL. Why the fuck not? Yeah, it's one game that we're trying to really bang away on this thing here. But as we get into a later game, I've got another player prop that I'll share with you guys. But let's get that on the screen and let's keep her moving. Going to lock that thing down with the first game of the card. Double dipping right off the hop. And speaking of the hop, let's go to this Blackhawks and let's talk about this Winnipeg Jets team. It's difficult because with a 4-game card and they hadn't had goalie confirmations, I was, what's the right term? Puss safe, I guess is the right term. Just didn't want to, it's hard to get excited about totals this early in the season. And it's hard to get excited about sides when you don't know who the fuck's going to be starting in goal. But what I do know is we have Soderblom starting for Chicago Blackhawks. This guy's fucking horrible. Peter Mrazek takes the season opening loss. It was 5-2 to the Utah Hockey Club. I thought that game was going to go under. Young team between both the Utah Hockey Club and the Chicago Blackhawks. We talked about the inability for the Chicago Blackhawks to score last season. But now here comes Soderblom. And we saw Winnipeg their last game. Huge 6-0 bust out. Beat them down over the Oilers. Big plus money spot out there as well. Soderblom's a piece of shit. And I don't think miraculously he got, unless he started juicing in the offseason, I don't think he just miraculously isn't a piece of shit anymore. Played 32 games last year. He went 5-22. He had a 3.92 goals against average. He was just under 88% save percentage. That's the tier. Bag of shit. Serviceable. Won't kill you. Elite. Pretty simple. This guy falls under bag of shit category. Connor Hellebuyck. Elite. Last year, killed it. Vezina Trophy winner. Best goaltender in the NHL. Shutout. Crazy. Some of these goalies are going to be interesting to watch this year. Henrik Lundqvist. Igor Henrik Lundqvist. Jesus. Igor Shesterkin betting on himself. Hellebuyck out there coming off a shutout in that Vezina Trophy the prior year against the Stanley Cup finalist in the Edmonton Oilers that some say are going to be the team to win the Stanley Cup this year, only because they lost it last year. I don't know. You know what? Phillies lost the World Series a couple of times. Doesn't mean they win it the next year. 31-year-old Hellebuyck. Not too shabby. He's been the go-to guy 4 years. We mentioned the coaching changes, bringing these guys up from within the system. Deals that they've been making with the minor league players, getting familiar with their systems. I expect Winnipeg to go out there and kick the shit out of Chicago. I'm not gonna put my neck out there and the best bet of the day is the minus 265 Winnipeg. No, it's not. But the under is in play with this one, and it's priced at plus 110. I know I talked about Soderblom being a piece of shit, and I stand by it. But I don't know how Chicago's going to go out there and score on Hellebuyck. This guy's coming out fucking firing bullets right off the gate. In fact, I thought about the team total under, but it's juicy for Chicago. Under 2.5 is minus 145. That's a dicey spot to get to, but I love this total. Since 2022, when the Jets are home, conference opponent with a shit winning percentage that missed the playoffs. 18-3 to the under. 18-3 is that Chicago Winnipeg Jets team game to this under. It's a Jets under with a goalie that's firing. You know, the more I talk about it, that under 2.5, if it wasn't so damn juicy, might be a great spot to play here. But losing percentage, they're 0-1. They missed the playoffs last year because they got their shit team. And we have the Jets home against a conference opponent. All signs point to go for me with this goaltending matchup, and I'm going to take the under 6 for us in this game number 2 in the NHL. What do you guys think about that? Markel says no Jets puck line. I mean, no. The short answer for me is no. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Not at all. But you know, I think what happened in this last game was we saw 5 goals on 27 shots against that, Utah Hockey Club team. I think what you do after you have an explosion like that with Mrazek giving up 4 goals on 26 shots is you got to play defense. You got to shore that shit up. Now, both these teams can certainly struggle from a defensive perspective, but I think, we see the blown load theory in play that Winnipeg scored 6 goals. We see that Chicago has to fix that defense, and I think the under, to me, is going to be the play we're going to get some action on here. And it's plus 110. So it's a nice little bang for the buck to pick up that plus money spot on that under. Let's go on to this third game. And this is another one that they're fucking around with the rosters earlier. Let me see what's going on here with these rosters real quick. Let me see. The player I was looking for was Olofsson. And I don't see him in the lineup. Let me check over here. Thing about Olofsson is this guy's he was acquired from Buffalo. His nickname in Buffalo was Golofsson because he scored a fucking ton of goals. He plays in power play unit. He gets extra time. I don't know if he's going to play tonight or not. I don't see him in DraftKings. I haven't seen him in there all day. If he does play, I like Olofsson to get a point. Between his regular 5-on-5 shifts and his power play time, he's got the perfect exposure to go out there and find a way to produce some type of result, whether it be a goal or an assist. Early this morning, like you shouldn't be up early this morning. It was sitting at plus 165, but I think because he's not there, I'm inclined to say he's not playing. And that makes sense, I guess, when it's all said and done. Can't see him. John C says the NHL wants goals this season. I don't disagree. But I don't think they're going to see it from these two teams that we just talked to. I know it's totals. I was talking to a friend the other day. I was like, the totals are tough this time of the season. But I'm going to take this Vegas Golden Knights team. I got the -1 and -140. I guess I'm just debating, do I want to bump it up to the -1.5? It's plus 125 for the -1.5, plus 122 now. It's coming down. I'm just going to stay here with this one on the juice. Teams in back-to-back spots are just in a difficult situation. And surprisingly, the St. Louis Blues team starts this season off 2-0, but they don't have any favors being done for them out here. We've got a day's rest for this Vegas Golden Knights team that went out there and shelled, absolutely clubbed like a baby seal flopping around on the beach. These Golden Knights clubbed that Colorado Avalanche team 8-4. Blatant disrespect and an easy over. But look, we got this Blues team starting off 2 games on the road. This is their 3rd game on the road to start their season off, and they just went to overtime with San Jose. Those legs are tired. It's a gaseous team. Gaseous clay. Now, we're still not positive, but it looks like it's Jordan Binnington that should be the likely guy to go for the St. Louis Blues team. I talked at the start of the season for game number 1 about how that St. Louis Blues team can't score. Well, all of a sudden they're scoring. From that perspective, though, we saw that Binnington did play decent, saved 30 of 32 shots in that Seattle game. That was the 4 p.m. start that we had Eastern, where we were up. And then St. Louis comes back and wins the game. They showed some resolve. Flip side, Aiden Hill, 4 goals on 32 shots. Serviceable. This guy did have a 2.71 goals against average last year with a 90.9% save percentage. Finished off with a 19-12 record in goal for Aiden Hill. Tricky situation because we did see obviously a big, big load of energy being exerted for that Colorado Avalanche game, and Golden Knights just took care of business, firing off, scoring goals like crazy. Big trend here, though. If you allow less goals than the league average, you got an opponent in another division, but the same conference. Same conference, other division. Your team allows less goals than the league average. 210-94. It's on a 10-game winning streak. In fact, it's on a 15-game winning streak. It's 10-0. 15 straight winners in that trend out there for the Vegas Golden Knights to go out there and finish this job off. I was coin flip between the total. Kind of my gut told me this is probably an under spot with the sleepy St. Louis team, but I think they're going to get run over in this game here. I don't care if they score 100 goals as long as it's Vegas that comes off and wins this thing by, 2. Not mad at anybody that wants to take the puck line. The margin of victory in that trend that I read off, though, was only sitting at 1.3 goals. So we'll see exactly how this thing rolls, but Oldie says 10 overs, 6 unders, and a push so far this season. Yeah. Something to be said for it, for sure. Markel says Vegas -2.5. Sprinkler also. Sure. It's easy for me to say sure. It's not my money, but sure. I just jumped on that -1. I know it's a little juicier, but it's later in the night, so I expect some of these things to pop through for us and get us paid. Let's go on to college football. Let's keep her moving. Lots of stuff to do tonight, so let's get through this next stretch of games here in the CFB. And let me get my friend Markel's comments off the screen. Look at this. Jay Stone taking a swing. That would fuck me, Jay Stone. But 5-2, if it happens, I will remember saying, Jay Stone, that will fuck me. But I'll keep my eyes on it. It's a ballsy call. I like it. AOD. Get paid and get laid. Let's go. Let's move on to college football, you guys. We've got 3 games on the card tonight. I've got action in all 3 of these games. Trying to get off of this little middling process of win one, lose one, win one, lose one. I think part of that's some of the double dipping in some of these games. So trying to kind of just be a little bit more selective here with college football as we start to bust into conference play. And we're going to open it up. Big Ten conference play, Northwestern and Maryland, 8 p.m. Eastern start. 53% of the bets and 64% of the cash have bought in on Maryland. Now, this line did move up to 11, but it is starting to come down. There are starting to see sharp buying coming in on this Northwestern team that has brought it down back to 10.5 where it popped off. We have a total that's moving on up from 42.5 to 45.5 now, a full 3-point move. But we have 85% of the bets on the over. We only have 53% of the cash. I think I know why, but we'll talk about it. We look at these 2 teams and we have a quarterback change, right? No doubt. There's we've got a lot of quarterback changes in today's schedule as I was looking at it and trying to break it down. I guess the problem here that I have is, Northwestern's offensive line is good. They should create some opportunity. When I say good, I mean, they're 16th overall at pass blocking, 58th in run blocking. And here's the thing, Northwestern, 16th in the nation in finishing drives. It's their defense. It's not even their defense because it's their run defense that's pretty solid. They're 22nd in the country. 15th. And 3rd in explosiveness allowed, though. They're allowing passes through the air. They're getting gashed because their secondary is dog shit. Flip side, Maryland's defense ain't much better. It's a shitty situation between these 2 teams, but their quarterback play with Billy Edwards for Maryland borderline elite, 1,450 yards this season. He's got 11 touchdowns, just 2 picks. But neither one of these teams is really finding the consistency in the groove that they were looking for here. I got a couple numbers for you guys here. Northwestern is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 games against Maryland. They beat Maryland. They were huge dogs their last 2 of 14 points, and they won them both, or covered them both. They won one of them outright. They only lost the other by a touchdown. So they match up well with this Maryland team is where I'm going with that one. Now, they haven't covered in 4 straight, which is the spot that I like to buy a team low because we're going to catch too many points. Vegas can't get the right number on that team. Oh, wait, we talked earlier, right? I told you guys at the start of the show, 15-4 are road favorites. I'm sorry, our dogs, excuse me. We've got another spot too. Road favorites. This is just a general college thought process. College, this will apply for us later. Road favorites off a bye, at least a -2, are 8-2 and won 4 straight in college football. Now, those don't apply to this game, but what does? Away conference dogs, 70-30 in a 100-game sample, 70% win percentage. We look further, we see dogs during the week, if it's early in the season, that are shit teams with a win percentage of less than 50, are 18-9. So we got a dog spot in a dog situation on a Friday card with a team that hasn't covered the spread, so we're buying low. And we got an offense that can score touchdowns. They just struggle to stop the other team from scoring. All signs to me, as I put these pieces together, pointed to a Northwestern spot. I jumped in on them at 11 when it was at 11. I'm still good with 10.5. We'll move this to 10.5 for you guys. Move this to 10.5. And we can get some -108s. -108s at FanDuel and DraftKings, as a matter of fact. I think that this team can at least be competitive. Now, I did see some trends on the under in this game, but this is where I stopped short and said I don't want to double dip this. I don't want to get into a position where I've got, unranked big conference dogs are 268 and 148 over the last just over 300 game sample. I don't want to cough that up because I got cute trying to double dip this Northwestern Maryland game. These are 2 of the shittiest teams in the Big Ten. The numbers on the screen, their first numbers 2 and 3. The second number, you'll see this as we move forward with college football, represents their conference play. And they are both seeking their first win in conference. Love some Northwestern. We're going to take this one. We're going to run with it. We're going to move forward with those big numbers supporting this dog play. That's 8 p.m. start. We'll move on. We'll keep her moving. My voice is getting a little scratchy here for me tonight. 9 p.m. Let's keep it rolling right down the ladder. We got an 8 p.m., a 9 p.m., and a 10:30 p.m. college football schedule tonight, which means it's going to be a later one. And we've got this line that opened at 17.5 points for UNLV. It's now 19s. Now 20s are starting to creep themselves out there with 66% of the bets and 63% of the cash. How can you back Utah State? They are bad. 58.5 is where the total opened, but it's swelled to 67. And we have a shit ton of money on it. We have 65% of the bets, but 91% of the cash on this game here. The Sharps believe this is going to be a blowout or a shootout, I guess is probably the better way to say it. I don't necessarily disagree. A couple thoughts that I had with this game. I looked at it. This is that spot, one of those spots. We've got a team that has rest. They're coming into this thing here with UNLV. They had the week off, or the 1 week, I guess I should say. They just had that Syracuse game. 44-41. Now, we were on Syracuse. We gave that out here on the show. But UNLV was laying 5.5 points. I think because of that quarterback swafu there, Salka comes out. They got to bring Williams in. Now they've had a chance. Syracuse defense was something that a lot of people slept on. Now I know it's 44-41. You're saying, well, there wasn't a lot of defense played. No, but They brought that Georgia scheme up to Syracuse, and they've been retooling and re-implementing that defensive game plan. And it was enough to take that quarterback who was just on his second start after the big news of the NIL challenge there with Sulka. And the lights were just a little too bright for Williams. But they're implementing that offense. And the thing they got going for them is the Aggies defense is fucking horrible. That's another team. They let up 62 points to Boise, 45 points to Temple. 45 points. Utah puts up a 38 pack on them. USC cranks down a 48. Even Robert Morris went out there and scored 2 touchdowns in the fucking FCS game. Utah State's bad. But this number's big. This is one of those games like we talked about yesterday. What concerns me a little bit overall is just how much does UNLV need to kick the shit out of this Utah State team? Is it good enough to beat them? Is it good enough to beat? I mean, I think what has to happen here for this UNLV team, if they want to go get their clamps down in the conference, they've got to go out there and they do have to kick the shit out of this team. They got to start getting them style points that everybody talks about when it comes to conference selection opportunity. It is the first of 2 road games for UNLV. They'll take Utah State this week. They'll have an extra day's rest in there, and they'll go out to Oregon State as well before coming back home and playing Boise. But UNLV has been a powerhouse on the road. They're 11-3 on the road. How about that? 7-0 in their last 7. Crazy numbers when I started looking at some of that stuff. And, you know, kind of, I don't know if you want to call it insult to injury as well. I guess we can call it that. Just said it. Might as well. Rested. Now, I know you're saying, well, they just played a week ago. But they played Friday against Syracuse. Utah played Saturday. So this does qualify. Rested road conference team against a team that didn't cover as a dog. They were getting 28, was Utah State. They lost by 32. Those rested road conference favorites are 94-54 in those spots. So we have a team that likes to play on the road. Rested versus non-rested in general are 56-23. UNLV also got another little 33-17 spot for them here. The way that I chose to take this game down, for me, this is my card that I share with you guys on the regular. I got that first half. Very similar. I expect this team to come out, kick the shit out of them, get the business of getting the business. And then as this game evolves, when they're beating them up so much so that they contemplate putting those second stringers in there, getting rest, getting the workout for those, you know, freshmen and sophomores, maybe Utah State can close this gap, but I think UNLV comes out fast. I think they score a bunch of points early. I wouldn't even be mad at anybody that want to get into the first quarter with this one. Now, I do see there's a 9.5 out there at Bet Rivers. The number I got was minus 10.5. It's minus 105 for this UNLV first half spot. But I think they've got, you know, they kind of learned their lesson there with Syracuse, probably sleeping. I could dismiss that loss for 2 reasons. One, new coach, new system, new quarterback from Ohio State and McCord, and new defensive units and game plan being put together with Syracuse. You don't have a lot of experience in that spot. It was Syracuse's first road trip, so they were fired up and ready to roll. And then we know that UNLV had to get going on the road. So I could see that being just kind of a look-ahead spot against who the hell is this Syracuse team. They ain't going to make that mistake twice, and this Aggies defense is soft enough. I expect UNLV to come out there, beat them up early, beat them up often. But I don't know. See, Vitalis. I agree, Vitalis. Williams is better than Sluka. I don't disagree with that. Shout out to Wine Time in the house. My dude. Rocking and rolling out there. You this read wrong. Took Northwestern plus 10.5. I read that shit right. Trans-Canada. Tomorrow's boxing. Tomorrow I'm boxing. Load up on Bible. Well, I'll write that down. I will write that down for sure. It's been so cold today. My fingers hurt. Yeah, well, now your back's going to hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty. You guys know what movie that's from. Come on. Don't make me look crazy here. All right. Last game for the college football slate as we look at this is Utah, Arizona State. we'll talk about the numbers. We'll talk about the action. We'll talk about where I think the vulnerability here is. And we've got late movement now. Sat at 5.5 for a long time today. Now 6 and 6.5s out there. 69% of the bets and 69% of the cash on Utah. The expectation is Cam Rising will play. I hate that fucking. Utah's such a dominant team in the conference. This Cam Rising shit, is he going to play? Isn't he going to play? Just reminds me of that Caleb Williams shit last year. And they got a hell of a coach out there in this Utah team. So, it's really a disservice because, how do you plan around this thing? Definitely the best team in the Big 12 is this Utah program. And we see the totals on no movement here. 46.5 is locked. And we have 94% of the bets and 94% of the cash on this over. Not a cent of movement. Scatterboo? Scatterboo. Is he going to be the guy? Is he going to go figure it out for this Utah or for this Arizona State side of things? I don't know. I do know that the student body of Arizona State. Oh, never mind. I digress. We're not live streaming with cocktails. we're not getting to that point yet. But as I looked at this one, though, I saw the Sun Devils. Yeah, Scatterboo. They got to run. They can't get that run game going. They're going to be in trouble. And Utah, Utah takes that loss to Arizona. Utah fell behind early in that game, and they were forced to pass the shit out of the ball. I think they had over 40 passing attempts out there. It was a bad spot. 400 yards of offense, though. Here's kind of a situation that maybe I oversimplify some of this stuff. So Arizona State, on the surface, you see their record. You say, okay, well, it's not a bad record. They're sitting at 4-1. They haven't played a top 50 rushing defensive team yet this season. Not one. So for your offense to be relying on Scatterboo to go out there and ground and pound and tick that clock on down. I think I owe Razor a nickel now for that one. It's going to be trouble. And this is going to be certainly a test for these boys to figure out if they can go out there and get it done. Now, it's not going to help them when you look out there and you see that you got Cam Rising. Also, Kyle Whittingham as a road coach helps his team prepare. Now, it's only 56-48, but it is a positive little edge out there. Here's some Arizona State numbers for you. They're 0-4 straight up and against the spread against Utah. Kind of feels a little bit like that Maryland situation we talked about earlier. Utah's outscoring Arizona State 36-10. That's why I think this under is not moving here. The historical matchup between these two teams shows Arizona State just can't do shit. And that goes back to the fact that they're a running-oriented team that hasn't faced a running-style defense. Arizona State's 2-8 overall against the spread in their last 10 against Utah. So if you want to extrapolate that past the last couple of games, they just don't match up well. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes teams just don't match up well. I think when you have a team like Utah that goes out there and score, real simple math. There's 100 yards in a football field. By the time a team gets to 100 yards, they should have a touchdown. When Utah gets 400 yards of offense and they only scored 10 points, 1 touchdown, was it just bad luck? Do they just not have their mark? Maybe it's a little bit of both. I think that they're not going to overlook this Arizona State team. I think they're in a terrific bounce back opportunity. And, I think what happens is they do shut down that running game. You got one guy they got to focus on. Rest advantage on the road who didn't cover their last game in conference are 195-94. Road team who didn't cover. Think about that. That's the buy low spot. We're buying low because they didn't cover. So the books naturally deflate that number just a little bit. Just take a little steam out of that number to give us that opportunity at 195-94. Be good enough for me. Whoop. I already talked about that one. -5.5 was the number I got. Now it's 6. It's fine. We'll move this to a 6 for you guys. Give you a buy authorization here on this -6. I kind of like this under. This wouldn't be a bad teaser spot either. Utah down to a pick 'em and under 52.5. I might play that way as well. I haven't done it yet, so I'm just talking out loud as I really start to internalize that shitty performance that Arizona State has when they play this Utah team, and they're really just a one-dimensional team. And if you force them to have to throw the ball because Cam Rising comes out there and knifes you right off the gate, you're down 10-0. You're going to keep running into the fucking brick wall? Doesn't seem like a style of play you want to get involved with, but Kirk Gray likes the Sun Devils. All right. Flea Mathis says he's tailing Sharpie on the Dodgers team total under. Smoke. Just had a beerita. Then the bartender pulled the wrong beer from another table. So free 40-ounce Dos Equis Amber. I don't always drink beer. But when I do, they're not Dos Equis. They're Le Fin du Monts. If you haven't had a Le Fin du Mont, those are some fun times. Those are some heavy beers. And, of course, we know the Skunt Blaster, the Skunt Bag, play of the day. We still love saying that. Skunt Blaster, play of the day. You know, you get a good team name or you get a good play of the day name. I love talking about it. Nicholas Handy got it. Now your back's going to hurt. That's right. Oh, these is Ben Stiller. You guys got my quick little sidebar in there. Let's go. Jerry Davis says, this different Arizona State. I haven't seen some AI projections saying Arizona State should be the favorite to Arizona State money line in their Stop it. Stop it. You can watch Utah play. The problem they got is that fuck around with this Cam Rising shit. Utah's the best team in the Pac-12. They got a better coaching advantage in their angles as well. And you got a one-dimensional team with this Scattaboo. Now, Scattaboo's anytime touchdown priced at minus 115. If you like Arizona State, you might want to get in on that action as well. I wonder what his rushing yards are. Let's see. I can't. Nah. Not in a state that is legal for player prop betting. So, last game, guys. Major League Baseball. We're at 7 o'clock, so we'll finish this up quickly. We'll get everybody up out of here onto their Friday nights. We got lots of stuff to do. Got to break down some UFC. We got to get into the NFL prop shop. I got to get the college football plays released. Debating. Tell you what, if we get this to 80 likes today, 80 likes on this video, I'll share the college football action with everybody tomorrow, not just member exclusive. So get that thumbs up button. If you haven't done so already, let's talk about this Yu Darvish. Yamamoto, the top prospect coming out of the Pacific Rim out there since Shohei Ohtani himself. And a battle. What a game, what a series this has been overall between these two teams. It's tied up. And the public loves these Dodgers. Bad news for the public. This line hasn't moved. 82% of the bets on the Dodgers. Only 56% of the cash. We look at the total. Total hasn't moved. That's a problem for overbettors. 76% of the bets and 77% of the cash are on this over. Now we can talk about these pitchers. We can look at Yu Darvish. We can look at the performance that he's had. He's 1-0 in the post. He's 1.29 ERA. Then we look at Yamamoto. He's not much. He got 15 ERA. That's struggle fest. You know, look, I told you guys, I made a future bet. I don't even want to use the term future. I bet the series, this series, not the World Series. I mean, it's technically in the category of future bets, but I did make a series bet on the Padres at plus 125. Now, some would say, well, you can hedge here for free money. I ain't no gardener. I ain't hedging. I'm rolling in. In fact, I'm going in again on this one. My money's already been covered and paid for. That's just out there trying to mature at a plus 125 spot for me. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time situations. And that is Yu Darvish, which is fucking crazy for me because I used to think he was huge garbage. But I might have to turn my model around a little bit here because in 2024, 4 playoff starts, he's been locking down a 2.88 ERA. Now, I mentioned huge garbage because overall in the playoffs, he's just 5-6 with a 3.88 ERA. But 1.62 ERA these playoffs. Pitched well against the Dodgers this season. 22.2 innings. The guy's out there fucking lighting them on fire. Yamamoto, 7-2 with a 3 ERA, but I don't know. He struck out 105 batters in 90 innings. There's definitely something to be said about that as well. I don't think he had his, his game one start. That ain't it. That wasn't going to do it. Struggled. He went, you look at overall performance for this guy here. 3 innings pitched. He got hit 5 times. He let up 5 runs. They were all earned. He gave up a homer. He walked 2 dudes and he got a K. Was it the team or the moment that beat the shit out of this guy? Now, it was a 7-5 final. But he only went 3 innings. He didn't do his job out there. And now you're going to put him out there against Yu Darvish? Yu Darvish went 7 innings, only allowed 3 hits in that game against the LA Dodgers. This is a mismatch on the bump. We could talk more about the back and forth with these guys, or I could just give you the trends and tell you how I'm playing this game. Go figure what I'm doing and taking this Padres team. 25-0, these Padres. Less than 9 strikeouts the previous game and had 10 hits, multiple walks. 10 of those 25 were outright wins in the dog spot. Think about it. You didn't strike out a lot. You got 10 hits. You showed plate discipline. You got walked because you're draining the pitcher's arm out and they're scared of you. And you're winning in those games after that. You show that plate discipline. You execute at a high level. You show great baseball IQ at the plate. That translates to wins. Yu Darvish, 9-0 in league play in the dog spot if he won his last start, and the total is less than a 9. The average margin of victory in those spots, just a cool 4 runs per game. That's plenty good enough for us out there. Also, I looked at 2 other spots that I wanted to get involved with this game. It's a lone baseball game. So maybe you want to use this as a same game parlay. Home teams, divisional battles, playoffs, unders have prevailed. This one's pegged at an 8, and it's not moving with all that cash coming in on the over. Big red flag. I like Tatis. I took me a little Tatis opportunity here to get that RBI for us. We've had a good run with these RBIs here. I felt like there was a reasonable enough opportunity. Let me pull this up. Where the hell did it go? Reasonable enough opportunity, or expectation at least, could be high enough. And you could say that this guy, not that it's a lock, right? We don't have anything as a lock in this game, but look, we do have some favorable hitting conditions, despite the fact that I think this game goes under, because it is a do or die situation. The moment these pitchers start to struggle, they're going to yank them out. And you're not yanking out Yu Darvish because I don't think he's going to struggle. But Tatis is a perfect 3 for 3 against Yamamoto. He ain't scared. Then you look at the overall numbers, lefty-righty matchup, Tatis. Guess what? Well, he's second on the team in lefty-righty matchup. Then we go on the road, home situation. He's second on the team in that spot as well. And we're priced at plus 165 to go out there and take advantage of a guy that he's not scared of, Yamamoto. We got a team that's showing plate discipline. We've got a guy that's out there knifing everybody. We got a great plus 165 spot for this thing here. Let's just see what the current numbers are. Let's see how this moves. Let's take a look. That's coming down a little bit. 155 out there. Oh, wow. The 150 now it's dropping even more. It's down to 146. 145s now out there as well. DraftKings has the best number for you guys if you're interested. No, that's not true. Let me see. If you're so interested, it looks, it's going to be Caesars that's going to have the best number for you out there at 146 out there. That's how we're going to finish her off. That's how I want to get paid. I want to get this thing to the window. I got a 3-legger for this baseball game. I'm taking advantage. I'm running and gunning. I got some great trends in our favor for all of these games tonight. And I'm ready to go. So I see my guy Ramon Scott making some comments as well. Big angles, big trends, big analysis, 25-0 spot out there. Let's take advantage. Yeah. Jay Peasy in the house. I was just thinking about Jay Peasy. Says Roberts will dump his entire bullpen tonight if he has to. Yeah. What are you going to do? Can't hold anything back, right? The Padres had their chance to close this out, and they couldn't do it. I don't know. We'll see. I can't wait. Let's see. Yeah, let's see here. We got some movement on this San Diego side as well. I guess I should look at that number too. I don't know. I see one. Now I see it's coming back down a little bit. 124, 123s, 122s, 120s. I don't think the Padres win the whole fucking World Series, so I'm going to give them a run. We're going to give them a gun. We're going to see if we can go out there and fire bullets at these bookies tonight, you guys. That's how we're going to close her down. Appreciate you guys all that rocked with me this week. We've had a tremendous week. You know, some grinding spots. But, man, those touchdown parlays really moved the needle for us, and I'm excited. Can't wait to go after it again on Monday. Guys, haven't done so already, get out there, become a member. It's just $4.95, but it helps us a ton. And as I mentioned, member exclusives. We give you guys special plays, unique opportunities to try to cash on some spots out there. And but a lot more to come. So we appreciate you guys that do take the time to show up here on the regular. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you let them know we're out here. Tell a friend. Have them tell a friend, man. Let's get this thing growing here. We'll keep giving it to you guys if you keep showing up for it. Shout out to Barry Roselle. Shout out to John C. in the house. Kelly McKinnis. Jay Peasy wrote damn intro song for our Saturday shows. Real nice little ear jingle there. Jerry Davis, Justin McKelvey, Jay Main, Hugh Janus out there. Let's go, you guys. Let's have a big night. Coin in the house. My guy says LA Dodgers under 8 at -108 for this better. I agree. I like that too. The chillest. The chillest in the house. Let's go. I agree with everything the chillest had to say there. Shout out to Wine Time Sports. Dancing Nancy's back in the house, man. M's here rocking with us tonight. Thank you guys all for hanging out. I hope you had a great week. Trans-Canada, you stay away from EKD. Last time I'm going to warn you. Have a great night, you guys. Good luck with all your bets. Good luck with everything going on. And we'll see you guys back here tomorrow, 3:45 p.m. for the live UFC all sports bet stream. If you don't like the MMA, that's okay. We're going to give you guys all kinds of plays to get involved with throughout the course of the day. Damn near run 6-7 hours on those things. But next opportunity to jump in on sports money, 9 a.m. Eastern. Ramon Scott, the morning steam, team steam. He's going to give you guys 2.5 hours of game day breakdowns tomorrow. Make sure you go check him out. Tell him Pregaming sent you. We'll see you guys all real soon. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.